On the news tonight, President Bola Tinubu says his administration's economic reforms is to protect the interest of future generations. State government receives commendation for facilitating world-class project for new map. Chairman, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa, praises Nigerians living abroad for their contribution. And abroad, Russian President Vladimir Putin agrees with the idea of a ceasefire in Ukraine. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us for Delta Television News at 8. I am Blessing Usiagwada. President Bola Tinubu says the rationale behind his administration's economic reforms is to protect the interests of future generations. He made these remarks at the State House while receiving a delegation of former National Assembly colleagues from the aborted Third Republic, during which he served as a senator representing Lagos West. The president highlighted the challenges faced at the beginning of his administration, especially economic and social issues, and expressed his gratitude for the delegation's support in addressing these difficulties. President Tinubu declared that the administration had been able to stem the tide and expressed appreciation to Nigerians for their collective support in turning things around. He said firm adherence to democratic tenets was the best route to economic, social, and political development. The federal government has taken decisive steps to remove bureaucratic hurdles that stalled private sector investment in key road projects for over a year, unlocking significant infrastructure development under a public-private partnership PPP framework. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister for the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, reaffirmed President Bola Tinubu's commitment to addressing Nigeria's $100 billion annual infrastructure deficit by mobilizing private capital. Mr. Edun highlighted recent approvals by the Federal Economic Council allowing private investors to proceed with the Benin-Asaba Highway and the Lagos-Abeokuta Road, both part of the Highway Development and Management Initiative launched under the Buhari administration. The HDMI initially attracted strong domestic investor interest, but faced bureaucratic delays that slowed execution. Investors have secured long-term financing, much of it from domestic sources, to construct, toll, and maintain these roads, significantly improving transport efficiency. He noted that travel times will be slashed by 75%, with the Benin-Asaba corridor dropping from 4 hours to 1 hour. The HDMI's timeline reflects the challenges and progress in Nigeria's PPP road infrastructure program. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf M. Toga, has refuted claims of targeted killings of Christians in Nigeria, describing them as misleading and aimed at influencing foreign governments, particularly the United States, to designate Nigeria as a country of particular concern, CPC. In a press statement signed today by the acting spokesperson, Kemiebi Imomotimi Ebenafa, the ministry stated that while the federal government acknowledges the security challenges in the country, these incidents are not religiously motivated or targeted at any particular faith group. It emphasized that insurgency and banditry in the predominantly Muslim northern region of Nigeria are not directed at any specific religious community. Recall that the U.S. Congress reports that have previously expressed concerns about religious freedom in Nigeria, leading to the country's designation as a country of particular concern in the past. However, the Nigerian government has consistently refuted such claims, asserting that the security challenges are complex and not rooted in religious persecution. The ministry noted that Nigeria is a multi-ethnic nation and over land resources. The state government has been commended for facilitating world-class projects of the Nigeria Erosion and Watershed Management Project, NEWMAP, in the state. The National Project Coordinator, NEWMAP, Engineer Ayuba Anda Yalax, gave recommendation today at a meeting with the Secretary to the State Government, Dr. Kingsley Emu, at the SSG complex in Asaba. Sams Okojite reports.
Welcoming the commendation, Dr. Emu recalled some laudable projects executed by NUMAP in the state, such as the unwanted erosion and stormwater management projects in the Accra Northeast, by commending them for excellent jobs done. He called for the replications of such world-class standard on other ongoing projects in the state. Dr. Emu assured NUMAP that and resilience to the impacts of climate change.
Damage to our environment, damage to our livelihood agriculture is enormous. And even the damage to our everyday living. Amateur is a terrible, terrible environment. If you come here during the rainy season, it's unmanageable. Everybody is almost relocated from those places. If you could fix Owanta, you can fix it. Our colleagues who came during Christmas last year, who have never been home, we are amazed to see them come. They say it's a World Bank job. I say yes, it's a World Bank job, but done by local people. So we must begin to own our assignments. It's our job. We are funded, and we are paying for it. It's an idea. It's not free. It doesn't come free, but it comes handy. Because if we are asked to shell out all those monies in one go, we won't be able to do that because of cash flow constraints. So we'd like to thank you.
Earlier, the National Project Coordinator of NUMAP, Mr. Ayuba Andy Yalak, commended the Delta State government for prompt release of counterpart fund for the various World Bank assisted NUMAP projects in the state, as well as the state proactiveness in project design and implementation, unlike other states.
This mission is in Delta State in order to assess the readiness of Delta State with regard to disbursement effectiveness. One of the key conditions or the condition precedent outlined by the bank to ensure that the state is listed in and also acceptable and ready to start drawing from the funding of the European Investment Bank is to assess the state in terms of availability of counterpart funds. We are happy to hear from you that government of Delta State, under the able leadership of Right Honorable Elder Sharif Oborgori, has not only approved but has released the sum of 1 billion naira to the counterpart fund account.
Present at the meeting were the Commissioner for Environment, Mr. Ejiro Jimani, the Commissioner for Transport, Mr. Onobiode Agofure, among other top government functionaries. Sams Okojite reporting.
The state government has pledged to build more synergy with the Nigerian Immigration Services to curb illegal and irregular immigrants in the state. The Secretary to the state government, Dr. Kingsley Emu, gave the pledge today when he received on a courtesy visit top officials of the Nigerian Immigration Services Delta State Command at his office. Sam Okojite reports.
The SSG emphasized that the state government will deploy resources to fight the menace of illegal and irregular immigrants, whether Nigerians or non-Nigerians. Dr. Emu said though the state is hospitable with economic prosperity which was attracting people, he stressed that it would not fold its arms to illegal migration which breeds criminality. He said the state government in its benevolence has established a housing center of over 2 hectares for legal migrants who are artisans around the Oko market. The SSG encouraged immigration officers and other security agencies to put up stricter measures in the fight against criminality.
We're going to give you all the support that you require. Where I know that these cells of irregular migrants are almost everywhere in Delta State. So I think that you need to rely on quite a huge intelligence from the locals and your people on ground to be able to sniff this out, so that maybe yes, more strenuous, more stern measures.
In his remark, the commander of Nigeria Immigration Service in Delta State, Comptroller Olanyika Odeshola, lamented the influx of irregular and illegal migrants from neighboring countries into the state. He acquainted the state government about their regular mop-up exercise, which he said requires the collaboration of the state government, local government, and other security agencies.
It's a real challenge. We have to inform our service headquarters. We have to inform the governor. We have to inform all other security agencies, especially the police and the DSS, because it's usually a very, very expansive and a holistic operation.
The immigration boss, while soliciting the support of the state government for the said capital-intensive project, vowed to fight illegal migrants and criminals in all their hiding places. Sams Ohojite reporting.
The government has reiterated its commitment to improving the lives of Deltans and residents of the state, providing the needed infrastructure to better their living conditions. The Secretary to the State Government, SSG, Dr. Kingsley Emu, disclosed this when he inaugurated members of the State Energizing Health Education, Agriculture, Rural Communities and Transportation (EHAT) Project Steering Committee by the Rural Electrification Agency (REA) in his office. Dr. Emu stated that the REA is looking to undertake off-grid renewable green energy-based solutions to augment the energy shortage being experienced in the country. He revealed that the project is World Bank funded and that the state was one of the few states chosen as a pilot scheme with a primary focus on primary healthcare facilities with a view to enhancing efficiency and service delivery in the health sector. Dr. Emu charged the members to be up and doing as to ensure they deliver on the committee's mandate. Those inaugurated into the EHAT Project Steering Committee are the Commissioner for Energy, who will serve as chairman, Commissioners for Health, Education, Agriculture, Transport and Rural Infrastructure as members. Other members are the State Chairman of the Association of Local Government of Nigeria, ALGON, and the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Energy, to serve as Secretary. The appointment of Emmanuel Ogidi as the caretaker committee chairman of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in the South-South geopolitical zone has been described as one of the best decisions taken in recent times by the party national leadership to reposition it for greater performance. Director General of the State Orientation and Communications Bureau, Dr. Fred Ogenesiwe, said this following the swearing-in of the caretaker committee at the PDP National Secretariat in Abuja yesterday. Dr. Ogenesiwe expressed confidence that with Chief Ogidi in the saddle, the South-South PDP zonal political family would strategize to sustain the party's supremacy in the region, enhance members' unity, and ensure overwhelming victory in elections. He congratulated Elder Ogidi, whom he described as a pragmatic, indefatigable leader and political tactician whose enviable track records as a founding member of the PDP, coupled with wealth of experience in party affairs, will be brought to bear on his new assignment. The Ogenesiwe prayed God to grant good health and uncommon wisdom to the committee to enable the members deliver in their responsibilities. Other members of the newly inaugurated caretaker committee are Chief Damiete Herbert Miller, Secretary, Dr. Chris Oduaka, Administrative Secretary, Honorable Nicholas Ayua, Mr. Godwin Udenta, Mrs. Bekewie Ashanti, Dame Vivian Ashamisi, and Idehe Ebomoyi as members. Present were party leaders and elders in the state, including the state PDP chairman, Chief Solomon Arenyeka, and the chief advisor to the governor, Chief Igoyota Amori. 3 major raw food warehouses have been shut down in Ado Ekiti, the Ekiti capital, by the National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC. This is contained in a statement by the NAFDAC State Coordinator, Mrs. Stella Dosomu, today in Ado-Ekiti. Mrs. Dosomu said warehouses were closed over varied degrees of infractions allegedly targeted at shortchanging unsuspecting members of the public. According to her, the closure is in continuation of the NAFDAC Director General's effort to rid the society of fake, counterfeit, and substandard medicinal and wholesome items in Ekiti. Mrs. Dosomu said the finding revealed that several bales of empty bags of popular local and foreign rice were in the warehouses, while different brands of rice had already been rebagged. She said that sewing and sealing machines were also found in the warehouses. Secondary school principals and teachers in Anambra State have been authorized to confiscate mobile phones brought to school by students. This is to curb distractions and enhance academic performance. Professor Nkechi Ikediogu, Chairman, Post-Primary Schools Service Commissioner, Anambra State, gave the directive in her address at the Anambra Schools Cultural Day celebration today in Awka. Ikediogu said that there was need to maintain discipline and focus in learning environment and authorize principals and teachers to seize phones from students who come to school with them in order to ensure that students concentrate on their academic work without the interference of phones. You're watching Delta TV Main News. Still to come, Chairman, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa, praises Nigerians living abroad for their contributions. Details of this story and many more will come after the short break. Please stay tuned. Welcome back and thank you so much for staying tuned. Now the news continues. The chairman and CEO of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCAM, Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa, has praised Nigerians living abroad for their significant contributions to the educational development of Nigerian youths through scholarship programs. She made this statement yesterday during the launch of a scholarship disbursement program in Lafia, Nasarawa State. The initiative, spearheaded by Zumunta Association USA, aims to support undergraduate students pursuing degrees in engineering, medicine, and computer science across various Nigerian universities. Representing the NIDCAM chairman at the event, Mr. Abiodun Akambi, the head of program development at the commission, emphasized that supporting young Nigerian students is an act of volunteerism and giving back to society. He highlighted the importance of harnessing opportunities in education and entrepreneurship to drive sustainable development. The Nigerian Customs Service, NCS, said it intercepted parcels of cannabis sativa marijuana, packs of tramadol, kegs of petroleum motor spirit PMS, and bags of foreign parboiled rice and other contraband items worth 267 million naira at Seme-Krake border. The seized items include 444 parcels of cannabis sativa, which is marijuana, 181 packs of tramadol, 600 bottles of codeine syrup, 100 ml each, 240 kegs of premium motor spirits PMS, 1,809 bags of foreign parboiled rice, 50 kg each, 17 sacks of used shoes, 56 bales of used clothes, and 203 pieces of used tires. Displaying the items to journalists at the Joint Border Post, ECOWAS Complex, Seme, Customs Area Controller Dr. Ben Oramalogu said the items, which were seized in February 2025, with a duty paid value of 267 million naira is in violation of the Nigeria Customs Service Act 2023. Oramalugu also announced a revenue generation of 743.7 million naira in the period under review, noting that it underscores the NCS commitment to blocking leakages and ensuring maximum revenue collection for national development. Additionally, Oramalugu said the command facilitated the export of 28,395.293 metric tons of produce, equivalent to 806 trucks, with a free on-board value of 7.85 billion naira, approximately $4.99 million. He said fees collected under the Nigerian Export Supervision Scheme amounted to 39.26 million naira, with a total surcharge of 2.43 million naira. The area controller emphasized that the command remains committed to tightening security, engaging community leaders, and deploying intelligence-driven strategies to combat smuggling. He warned smugglers and their collaborators that illegal activities would not be tolerated, urging them to switch to legitimate trade. He reaffirmed the SEME Command's commitment to national security, economic growth, and trade facilitation, stating that the proactive measures taken would lead to even greater success in the coming months. And to world news, the Russian President, Mr. Vladimir Putin, has said he agrees with the idea of a ceasefire in Ukraine, as he set out a number of tough conditions for peace. The Russian president was responding to a plan for a 30-day ceasefire, which Ukraine agreed to earlier this week, following talks with the U.S. The Ukrainian president, Mr. Volodymyr Zelensky, described President Putin's response to the plan as manipulative and called for more sanctions on Russia. Meanwhile, the U.S. has placed further sanctions on Russian oil, gas, and banking sectors. Russian officials said Putin was expected to hold talks on the ceasefire yesterday's evening with U.S. President Donald Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, in Moscow. It is not clear whether that meeting actually took place. Today, Russia's state media quoted the air traffic monitor flight radar as saying the plane believed to be carrying Witkoff had left Moscow. Moscow and Washington have not commented on the issue. Passengers on an American Airlines flight were evacuated onto the tarmac of an airport in Colorado as a fire broke out on the plane, sending smoke billowing into the air. According to the report, passengers were seen huddled on the wing of the Boeing airliner, whilst some holding bags with flames burning near the bottom of the plane. The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration said passengers used inflatable slides to reach the ground safely at the Denver International Airport. There were no reports of serious injuries, although the airport later confirmed 12 people were taken to the hospital for minor injuries. The flight took off from nearby Colorado Springs and was on the way to Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport in Texas. The agency said that it would investigate the cause of the incident. And to Ethiopia, a dissident faction of the main political party in Ethiopia's northern region of Tigray has seized control of key offices and a radio station in the regional capital, Mekelle, aimed growing fears of a fresh conflict. Amid growing fears of a fresh conflict, it follows a deepening power struggle within the Tigray People's Liberation Front, which has raised concerns of a return to civil war. According to reports that people are withdrawing money from their bank accounts, fearing the security situation would or could deteriorate, adding that the same faction took control of Adigrat, Tigray's second largest city. President of Tigray's interim administration, Getachew Reda, has accused the rival group led by Debretsion Gebremichael of attempting to forcefully remove him from office. Getachew became Tigray's leader following a 2022 peace deal which ended 2 years of conflict in the region, which killed an estimated 500,000 people. On Thursday, members of Debretion's faction, accompanied by armed soldiers, took control of Mekelle FM radio station and the mayor's office in the city. Gunshots were heard on Wednesday night in Adigudem, a town near Mekelle, when forces from the dissident faction attempted to occupy a government building. Welcome back home. In a bid to promote food security and sustainable living, TechnoServe Nigeria today trained staff of Delta Broadcasting Service (DBS) and other residents in Asaba on makeshift urban farming methods. The training, which took place at the DBS Asaba premises, equipped participants with hands-on skills on how to cultivate their own food in urban areas using minimal space and resources. Mora Isokwan reports.
In her address, the General Manager of the Delta Broadcasting Service (DBS) Asaba, Mrs. Christine Jobome Emetulu, said the initiative was born out of the desire to enhance skills of DBS staff members and other Deltans in agriculture to improve food security, reduce reliance on industrial agriculture, and promote economic power. She noted that the station was partnering TechnoServe Nigeria to train people on the necessary skills and right practices to engage in modern farming, while encouraging participants to embrace the exercise with an open mind for self-development in order to enhance food availability in the state.
With this training, DBS is also encouraging all Nigerians to embrace farming in order to enhance food sufficiency, security, and of course boost their economic power. For every kobo you save, through whatever you have grown or cultivated, you have increased your economic power. So the training will provide comprehensive training to all participants involved in it. You'll be equipped with necessary skills and knowledge to excel in your agricultural endeavors.
Facilitators from TechnoServe Nigeria took the participants through sessions on nursery management, seedling transplantation, and soil preparation, and ways to create makeshift gardens using containers, tires, and other recycled materials, as well as guidance on how to access markets to sell their produce to make profits. To kickstart the farming practical sessions, participants learned how to prepare nurseries, planted several species of tomato, onion, pepper, and watermelon seedlings, and learned how to maintain their farms efficiently to maximize productivity.
Got to know that most of the fruits, most of the tomatoes, the pepper, the fruits we consume in Delta here it's been shipped down from the north. So we want to produce more here as well, so that we can actually have readily homemade food to consume.
Encourage residents of Asaba to do more or venture into agriculture, so that it will help them get, especially fruits and vegetables, so that it will help them get fruits and vegetables at an affordable time. It will be accessible for them too.
Some participants who spoke thanked the DBS management and TechnoServe facilitators, saying the training was a welcome development, as they have learned ways to grow their own food in gardens, especially fruits and vegetables and other daily consumables, to subsidize the rising cost of food in the markets.
Especially growing our crops, and at the same time that will probably reduce our rate of buying from the market.
As the training has exposed me to the possibility of using little space to grow, domestic or crops that one needs on a daily basis: onions, tomatoes, cucumbers, and the rest.
Mora Isokwan reporting.
apologize for that break in transmission. Now the news continues. Pupils and teachers of DSA's Pride Early Years and Grade School in Asaba celebrated the beauty of colors at the Color Extravaganza Sports Competition held at the Delta Broadcasting Service DBS Asaba premises. Violet Monier reports.
The head teacher of the school, Mrs. Deborah Abinoma, said the Color Extravaganza was an event aimed at promoting teamwork, creativity, fun and school spirit among the pupils, teachers and parents, adding that the event was an alternative of inter-house sports games. Mrs. Abinoma emphasized that the game activities was to provide relaxation for both pupils and parents, offering them a much-needed time of relaxation from their daily routines. She commended parents for their support and encouragement.
We don't have the numerical strength yet for inter-house sport. We decided to do something more beautiful. And I want to say that I think I will continue doing Color Extravaganza because it's a lot of fun, a lot of game, parents participation, colors competing, and there's something about color. If you look around, everywhere is so beautiful. The beauty of the children, the beauty of the parents, the beauty of the teachers, so we're just representing different elements, of colors. I will continue doing Color Extravaganza.
The pupils, dressed in their colorful outfits, showcase their talents and skills in various activities, including parade, Macarena dance, picking balls, sorting colored balls, popping balloons with toothpicks, among other games. In an interview, some of the teachers and pupils shared their excitement, saying they enjoyed themselves while learning valuable lessons about the significance of different colors. They also noted that despite the competitive aspect, the games were primarily focused on entertainment and fun.
We are just here to have fun.
You should not give up. That when you fail, you should stand up and continue.
Extravaganza, it's just a very colorful day, and then you get to do sports.
High point of the event was cutting of the Color Extravaganza cake. Violet Moy reporting.
Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba has been commended for its proactive and innovative content. A foremost environmentalist and author, Dr. Newton Jibuno, gave the commendation during the unveiling of a documentary titled The Man Newton Jibuno. Special team in DBS Asaba. Eunice Emezia reports.
Dr. Jibuno expressed gratitude to the DBS Asaba for conceiving the idea to document the story of his life, saying that it was overwhelming for him to see his life replayed before him. He expressed satisfaction at the output and reassured the DBS team of his determination to partner the station.
When I heard of documentary, and I thought it was going to be a few minutes of interview. So I must say,
the General Manager DBS Asaba, Mrs. Christine Jobome Metulu, who conceived the idea of the documentary as part of her efforts to rebrand the station and improve its content for its teeming audience, described Dr. Jibuno as an institution that has inspired many, saying that his achievement was worth documenting to inspire generations to come. Mrs. Emetulu disclosed that the documentary, The Man, Dr. Newton Jibuno, was just a part of a series of documentaries on Dr. Jibuno that will be put together by the station, saying that DBS Asaba was happy to partner with him.
I take a lot of interest in him, not just because of what I've read about him, but because he is by himself, by his nature, and what he has achieved directly or indirectly, consciously or unconsciously, an institution in Africa or in the world as far as environment sustainability is. So naturally, as a broadcaster, it behoves me to move close to that kind of individual. So straight away, I set my team in motion to say, we're going to create a series on this great Delta icon.
Others who spoke after watching the documentary said it was a true reflection of the personality of Dr. Jibono and thanked DBS Asaba for a job well done. Eunice Emeyazia reporting.
And now to sports news. The Super Eagles of Nigeria will resume their quest for place at the 2026 FIFA World Cup when they face Rwanda in Kigali on March 21 before returning home to take on Zimbabwe on March 25. The two matches will be decisive for the Super Eagles' chances of securing a ticket to the tournament, which will be hosted by Canada, the United States and Mexico. Nigeria currently in 4th position in a 16 table with just 3 points from 4 matches. The team qualification hopes in line as the Super Eagles must rise to the occasion and secure maximum points to keep their World Cup dream alive. That's our news. Now our thought for the day. Wasted time cannot be recycled, so make proper use of your time. To end Delta TV News at 8, here are the main points again. President Bola Tinubu says the rationale behind his administration's economic reforms is to protect the interests of future generations. He made these remarks at the State House while receiving a delegation of former National Assembly colleagues from the aborted Third Republic, during which he served as a senator representing Lagos West. The state government has been commended for facilitating world-class projects of the Nigeria Erosion and Watershed Management Project, NEWMAP, in the state. The National Project Coordinator, NEWMAP, Engineer Ayuba Andawalax, gave the commendation today at a meeting with the Secretary to the State Government, Dr. Kingsley Emo, at the SSG. CEO of the Nigerian Industrial Commission, NIPCOM, Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa, has praised Nigerians living abroad for their significant contributions to the educational development of Nigerian youth through scholarship programs.